Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon, Africa. Good afternoon, Europe. Good morning, America. This is Mr. Showbiz, Ambassador Jeff Osayade, broadcasting live from the city down under. Yeah, if you're watching this video, kindly help me share it before I start the broadcast. Um, and if you want to join this, feel free to leave a comment and then I'll bring you in. It's as simple as that. So the topic today is giving voice to the voiceless or giving voice to the dead. It's, it's what is happening around here. It's a very good topic to contribute. Whatever you are watching, you can do that straight without no hindrance. Um, I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure we discuss this and get to the bottom of it, of how we understand it. So if you're watching, please kindly share these videos and let's be our brother's keeper, and also let us make it count, make our voice count. So please kindly share this video and so that we can kickstart this program in earnest. We have to do the needful, because at the end of the day, we are all human. So the topic is giving voice to the voiceless. Kindly help me share these videos and let's see how we can be our brother's keeper. As the saying goes, that the beautiful are not yet born. Yesterday was International Women's Day that is being commemorated worldwide, and a lot of people were shocked about it. Other people are enjoying it. Like, as a human rights activist, at least I'm very happy that there's a day that represents the women. Irrespective of how we feel, how we want it to be, women must be women. And so, by saying that, I come from a woman, and I'm expecting you that is watching me also come from a woman. So we have to find a way to respect them, appreciate them, rejoice with them, hug them without embarrassing them. We must see the good things about them. So many of them are very vulnerable. As a result, they get depressed easily compared to the opposite sex, which is the man. So let's talk about how we can give voice to the voiceless. But if you are watching, help me share these videos and let's touch life together. This is very, very, very intricate, very, very fragile. It's a hard talk. So I want people to come to my shoe and do the needful. We're gonna be touching bases with so many things that is be happening around us and what has not occurred yet. You might say, "Oh, I'm not a woman. Why would I be discussing it?" Or at least I can speak for myself. What about those that cannot speak for themselves? So how would you feel about it? Those are some of the things we need to talk about. So if you are watching me, kindly share this video. Let's touch life together. It is very important that we touch bases with ourselves every now and then, irrespective of our culture, religion, language, distance, and otherwise. It doesn't count. What counts is helping other people to have voice, or giving voice to those who don't have access to having it. It's a hard talk. A lot of people are not going to watch this video because they'll feel dejected. They'll feel neglected. They will feel that we're always supporting these women. What about those women who does not support us? But categorically speaking, when you give voice to the voiceless, it could be a man, it could be a woman, it could be kids, it could be average, it could be an adult, it could be, you know, it could be yourself. So that's what I mean about giving voice to the voiceless. And this is something we need to talk about extensively. I'm gonna break it down very soon. So when you're watching the video, please kindly send you are one step away from love. Your number is this. You know. So kindly help me share this video. Share it to anybody. If you are watching, share it to anybody. Share it, and let's give voice to the voiceless, to the dead. We're gonna be touching bases, and people that are passed away that still have voice on earth. So we're gonna be mentioning names, you know, as we go through this broadcast. So wherever you are watching from, let's hit the ball. Let's set the ball rolling. The voice of Africa are voice of men. The voice of men are never voice of God. Those pastors that you will call on the telephone and will tell you that they are busy, instead of them to ask a question and see how they can help you, only respect the voice of men, but they never respect the voice of God, because the voice of God speaks for everyone. And if you are a pastor and you don't have the conscience of telling the person, please, how can I help you? And the person give time, give ear for that person to explain. Could be passing through a dangerous circumstance, dangerous difficulties. Then you be person to be a saving grace, and we tell the person I'm busy. And then he get more frustrated because maybe you are the last hope the person have got. So those are things we will need to touch base. Please, if you are watching this video, share it. Let's touch life together. It is very important and it's very good to be good. Don't shy away from it, because at the end of the day, you are not helping anyone. We are not talking romance here. We are talking about how people neglect people. The people you call your own, at the point of death, they will tell you, sorry, I can't help you. But if you have food in your house, they will be the first person to arrive. So those are the things we need to talk about here. If you are a woman, if you are a boy, if you are a girl, irrespective of your status, share this video. Let's touch, give voice to the voiceless. Let's give voice to the voiceless. Let's give voice to the voiceless. If you are watching me, please share this video. Let's give voice to the voiceless. So now, long time ago, people say my time shall come when nation fighting against nation, children fighting against father, nuclear aid taking over the whole wide world. Oh, what our prophecy fulfilled. Oh, what our prophecy fulfilled. My people, it's time we come together in one voice, with one voice, one uniforms. Let's come together with one voice to save life. Over the weeks, or over some few weeks now, a lot of things have been emanating, generating, and while others are emancipating as well. So, having said that, the defense minister of Australia is passing through a very serious allegations. The person involved in this allegation has passed away. May her soul rest in perfect peace. May her soul rest in peace in a peaceful place. The issue now is that how do we support the dead? Having knowing that the law is no longer on their side, irrespective of how many people going to say we must campaign. Having said that, the law in the nation, the law of the country, is being interpreted by the police, by the judiciaries, by the executive arms, you know, and they have the final say. And once they say it, that's it. The 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 the, the, the defense minister is also a woman. The way he handled the rape allegations, and everyone is calling for her head. People are calling for her to resign. But remember, she is a woman like the other woman that was raped. And the Attorney General is also facing a tough battle. People are also calling for his head to resign simply because an allegations placed on him, and the person who placed that allegation has passed away. The one that happened in the defense minister's office, the person has resigned. So all these are issues that are emanating from one particular place, the House of Lord, the Parliament House, the people who voted into government. Now, if we shift, let diversified to a separate angle from this. The government in power doesn't want to lose cabinet, doesn't want to lose credibility. And in so doing, if he does not apply wisdom, he could lose the grip of power by saying that the opposition might be fighting for an early election. All this might be a setup as well. You never know. We are human. So saying this is the person that has passed away. How do we give voice to the dead? Tupac says, may God bless the dead. May God bless her soul, wherever she is. How do we now give voice to the dead? We have to give voice to the voiceless, either through peaceful demonstration or group of people assembled together, put a petition through to get the case to a different committee that will look into it, in order for this girl that is passed away to have a pleasant passing to the Lord. She died with a lot of grievances because she took her life. We're talking about this now because we are living in an advanced country. What about what happened to the people in Africa? The people that went for peaceful riots, the NSAS movement, majority of them are still languishing in prison. Some people passed away with their parents cannot find their corpse. How do we give voice to these people? Is it by holding the government of the day to ransom, or by using a selfless initiatives, signing a petition to get this case of ground? Because people that are going for a peaceful demonstration are fighting for one thing and one thing only: a better system of government. A government that listens to his people. That's what these people fight for. So when we talk about giving voice to the voiceless, it could be a disabled person, it could be someone with a disability. It cannot talk. Some of them can write. Some cannot even write. Some are deaf, at the same time dumb. How do you now give voice to these people? If you are watching, please share this video. Let's touch life together. These people, you have to find a way to appreciate them, recognize them, include inclusiveness in anything you are doing. They must be included to it. Whether they are hearing it or they are seeing it, they must be included in anything you are doing for someone who have no voice. There could be an assigned guardian that will be there representing the person. But in the mix, this person must be there, except he's just sick or he cannot move at all. In so doing, the guardian must take a full control of his 100% control while being fixed with an audit if he make any mistakes. Unconditional positive regard must be included. Person-centered. That means these people must be included in every decision you are making. That is giving voice to the voiceless. Irrespective of how you see it, how you want it to be, doesn't matter. It doesn't count. What count is how are you able to represent these people without infringing on their right. This is what matters. May God bless the dead. Because once person is passed to domestic violence, family violence, in any form, through accident, through mistake, means whatever, and the case gotta go to court, they have to prove it beyond reasonable doubt to make sure the voice of the dead can be heard. That's what it is. That's what it is. Irrespective of the situation, irrespective of how you feel, you have to take your feeling out of this. Do not attach yourself to something you know you cannot defend. Let's be frank and sincere to ourselves. Let's give voice to the voiceless by using what we call inclusiveness, empathy, unconditional positive regard, respect, truthfulness, kindness, but do not attach yourself to any decision you take. That way, you will be able to exonerate yourself for being loyal to these people. Giving voice to the voiceless. It's a hard topic to define. A lot of people have represent the people with no voice. Half of the people are doing it for the money, not for actually the person. Now, let's take Africa into perspective. For those that live overseas, we are more or less like we are voiceless. When you are contracting a business to someone in somewhere like in Nigeria, in Ghana, Cameroon, and other African countries, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Gambia, Senegal, you're contracting a business to a family member, a sister, or a brother, or a friend. You become voiceless because you are not seeing it. Are these people actually representing you truthfulness, or they are representing the money they just want to get? Those are things you want to check. Are they going to carry you along because you are paying for a project, or you are paying for something that people need to put into consideration? Are they doing it? That is something we all have to put into our own medulla oblongata. Irrespective of your tradition, religion, custom, color, and race, language, whatever you do, unconditional positive regard, person-centered, empathy without attachment must be involved. Inclusiveness, very important. Because at the end of the day, you are representing yourself. Because if anything go wrong, you are going to be on the front desk answering questions, giving voice to the voiceless, giving voice to the dead. Now, there are some voices that speak from the grave, like the lady that has been raped that has just passed away, that committed suicide in Australia, that has been accusing the attorney general for. The voice from the grave is the voice of the people that is representing her. Those people that have sent those messages across, those are the voice from the graves, that the girl is still standing. She hasn't passed completely. Until those voice is being listened to and pacifies, then she can now float and go away. Martin Luther King speak from the grave. The voice remains tomorrow. So the day we begin to forget about ourselves, the day we begin to die slowly. The Gandhi of India speaks from the grave. Sarawiwa speak from the grave. There are a lot of people about LYA effects speaks from the grave. Ogiso, all these eminent personality, Akenzwa, Buddha, all these are people that speak from the grave. Oni of Ife, that have passed on. These people speak from the grave. Awolowo, these are voices from the grave. People, because people still make references to these people from time to time, bad or good. The voice of some people never died. Bob Marley, the legendary Bob Marley, voice speaks from the grave. Tupac speaks from the grave. Because these people stay on. Majek Fashek, Isaac Black, Rasky Mono, these are freedom fighter. Nelson Mandela, Mary Makimba. These are people that speak from the grave. Jesus Christ, Exodus, these are people that speak from the grave. John the Baptist, Solomon, David, Jacob, Abraham, Adams, and Eve. The voice on the grave, because the voice still remains in us. They never go. How are we going to replicate all these? These are the voice of the voiceless, the people that represent us on earth. So, having said that, there are people representing us because they still speak from the grave. While we are here on earth, who are representing us? When you represent the someone that cannot defend himself, that means you are representing the people with voiceless people. The voice of the voiceless are people, caliber people, who have the blessing of God that say, this is how it is. The voice of the voiceless, Ambassador Dion Osagi, has helped countless of numbers of people. Time to come, people is still going to have that name in history. They say lies are waiting for those who is going to mark their name in history. Sheu Kuti, Fela Kuti are these people. Abiola, people speaking from the grave. Sam Okbaraji, Maradona, these people speak from the grave because their voice remain with us. Let alone that the people that are living on a daily basis, there are killings of Fulani in space are killing people because they are made handicapped. The government of the day who were supposed to protect these people, care not, careless. How do we make these people be represented? Because the voice of the people need to be heard. These are people. The vulnerable people in our society are the people that we represent. Part an African girl, Lawrence J. Osayande Foundation, represent the voice of the voiceless. I represent the voice of the voiceless. As an ambassador of peace, we represent the voice of the voiceless. We have to wait. I constantly tell people that the life we live is what we make out of it, irrespective of the situation we find ourselves. No matter how we try to push it there or not, at the end of the day, our voice must be heard. Our voice counts. When you begin to admire people you employed in an office, and the people now feel uncomfortable and now resign, which means they don't have a voice. So, in the case of what happened in the parliament, the girls are all resigned because they've been bullied, and people being bullied and commit suicide. People being bullied and hang themselves and lose memories. These are people that are their voice cannot, they now believe that their voice cannot count. In so doing, they take their life. Now, how do we now come up with a consensus to now represent the voice of the voiceless, to now represent the voice of the dead? Because so many people have gone on account, like a situation like in Nigeria, where the law does not work. How many people die on daily basis? Like the prince that was just been kidnapped in Lagos Ibadan Express, Lagos Benin, on the way to Lagos, from the guy from Texas or Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts, visited Nigeria. He was just being murdered or kidnapped and being murdered. How do we represent those kind of people? Their voice still remains because we still think about them. We still feel that they are not being represented genuinely, representing the voice of the voiceless. My people, how long shall we live inside sin? Oh, what a brother mine die in sin. Also, what written in the Bible book. Pastor are preaching and Reverend are preaching, all for the sake of I and I, so that we may have eternal life. Eternity, yeah. Give purity to humanity. We must be pure in our hearts. We must be pure. Let us not do something to other people that we know when they do it to us, we will feel the pain. Why do we have to give people pain? We are not in WWE. The world is a free space. Why do we need visa to cross boundaries? In Australia today, is the most highest visa, most expensive place to buy a visa to. To secure a permanent resident in Australia, you are looking at $10,000 and above. People with no voice, how do they solve this problem? Is there any mechanism put in place to help the voiceless where they cannot find a way to stay? People are being deported today because they feel weak. Can't come up with this money, they can't apply for the visa. Those that they have the money don't have the link to get a visa. So the amnesty, people are calling for amnesty for Australia government to give voice to those who have been living here illegal, so that they can now apply for a permanent stay or a visa that will let them wake up their passport so that they can now apply for a permanent resident to leave the country. I appreciate that voice. That's a good voice. That Australia need to empower those who cannot afford it. If you want to give voice to someone who's unable to pay for the visa and the visa expire, it becomes illegal. You have to cut the price of the visa down. It's too expensive, Australia. Cut the visa price down. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about it because people believe it is Australia. We are living here. Who cares? No. We have to find a way to be our brother's keeper. This message is for the immigration minister. Find a way to reduce the price of the visa. Reduce it, not increase it, because people are dying in silence. A lot of people are stranded because they cannot afford the visa fees. It's too expensive. To get 10,000 in Australia and save it cash after paying for your grocery, pay for rent, pay for service of your car or transport of your car for petrol, gas, before you clothe yourself and your kids, probably take you a whole year. You will not be able to come up with $10,000. It's not easy. My people, let's give voice to the voiceless. It is good to be good because at the end of the day, whoever you help today could be the saving grace for you tomorrow. So giving voice to the voiceless you must sacrifice person-centered, empathy, unconditional positive regard. Show love without no condition. Show love without no condition. That's unconditional positive regard. You must show love, regard this person, and be positive towards it. Be positive, regard, and unconditional. Show love with empathy, without attachment. Inclusiveness in anything you are doing with someone with disability, someone who have no voice, the vulnerable ones. This is a very great discussion. I want people to feel it, to come true. As we go through the hurdles of life, we must carry everyone along. We were all born unique, and we need to be. We are all unique beings, irrespective of how you feel. Let all of us be our brother's keeper. Our premier today had an accident in his home and has some fractures of his ribs. I wish him a speedy recovery. Prime Minister Premier Andrews, I wish you a speedy recovery. So we all pray for you because we all love you. You do a good job by keeping us safe. So it's time for us to pray for you. May God heal you and your pain in Jesus' name. Having said that, we must find a way to keep our parliamentarians, our staff clean from bullying and embarrassment. Because the nation today is being embarrassed because of so many rape accusations. There are a lot of cameras and in our homes, let alone the Lord house, the house of Lord. Let me use that word. And people still point fingers to say, oh, she's a liar. And also, we must be mindful not to destroy ourselves, not to destroy our government. Because if the government go down, a lot of things will happen. And also going to use the opportunity for the Australian government to leave Clan Casino alone. Because The more we drag these people, if we shut that business down, a lot of people gonna lose their job, whether we like it or not. A lot of people go there for fun. People go there to, I understand people have problem with gambling issues, but we should also think about how many workers we're gonna lose if we are not careful. How we gonna pursue the crown casino that giving life to so many in Sydney, Perth, Melbourne, Brisbane. This is our own. Back in the 90s, business left it and went to China. Today, China is can do whatever they want because we give rise to them. So let's be our brother's keeper. If anybody found wanting or corruption, they should be treated through the police, through the judiciary, not through the newspaper. Unlike what is happening in the parliament issues, rape issues is being judged in ABC Channel 7 on the news instead of there allowing the police to investigate. We are all of us now are now investigator. So how would you allow the security apparatus, the security joints, the people we say they should look after us to look into this matter if we all have to be a judge? We should not bring our country down. We should all plan to help one another to fix an issue. Scott Morrison, the Prime Minister, have taken a very, very good initiative by letting people know that the country is being run by law. He is not the one that make the law. He's only there to interpret and make sure every law is executed. He was born into the law. So he has already said his word and people should stop pushing him. A lot of people are still complaining that they were voted out of government or they were overthrown out of the government. Good. If you lose a battle, pick the pieces. Live exemplary life. Forget about stressing about your previous government. People don't want you to rule. People don't want you to do this. Now, people are only trying to drag the government down because you lose. People talk about you because they are better than you. You are better than them, I mean. People is going to talk about you because you are better than them. It's not because they are better than you. People talk about you because you are better than them. So, my people, let's support one another. The account number is there. You guys know that I'm doing fundraising for someone with a spinal cord injury. She is in Benin City, is a man, he's lying flat on the ground. If you have anything you want to use to support this gentleman, please kindly do. Lawrence J. Osayede Foundation is trying to raise money to it's my random kindness that I'm doing to people. If you are here watching, if you ever need any sanitary pad, go to Lawrence J. Osayede Foundation and go and get it. It's free. It is free. It is free. It's there in the office. The telephone number is there. Call your family, call your sisters, tell them to go there and go and get your pad. Nobody's going to stop you to get any pad. So my people, let's give voice to the voiceless and the voice to the vulnerable ones, because if we come together as one, I'm very, very sure we all can walk the walk instead of talk the walk. So, like I always say to people, if you see something, say something, because the life we live in is what we make out of it. Just remember, marriage is a picture that is not yet printed. Some say it's good, while others see the opposite. I tried to paint the picture last night, but the color wasn't beautiful enough. Remember, perseverance is the only key to a successful marriage home. When there's love on their minds, it's a pull. The only joy in marriage is seeing other people being pulled into it. Just want to leave you guys with a piece of advice. because Trimini and Trimini in the Woodney jar, tis all apart. The center cannot hold. My fellow brothers and sisters, let's come together as one. Let's support one another. Let's support Lawrence J. Osayande Foundation to help the voiceless, to help the dead. If you have any issue with child support, you have any issue with domestic violence, family violence, youth development, whatever you want, you need sanitary pad, just holler that number and you will be answered. May God continue to guide and bless you people as I round up the broadcast. Thank you for you guys for watching. Let God bless the dead. Thank you. Bye for now.